my friends. This is Family Matters. I call you friends because it's a special episode for you, and Family Matters is brought to you by Bethel Dwellers, the organizers of Understanding the Scriptures, UTS. We call it UTS for short, and for Festival of Worship, and also the organizer of the Family Matters. My name is Elizabeth. You are welcome once again, and I have my co-host here.
Hi viewers and hi friends. Today we're in this episode and we'll be looking at the different dynamics of friendship as it relates to marriage. My name remains Deji Adeyemi, PDA for short. And today promises to be another episode that will transform and change marriages and lives. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be looking today into friendship. What is friendship? What's it about? Lizzie, we need to be able to define what friendship is and where do you start? What are the boundaries? Is it possible for couples to remain friends even after getting married? You know, now status has changed. I'm now the breadwinner. Can I still be the friend of my wife?
As our discussion is talking about be my friend. I'm not talking about you, Deji. The friendship, no, not you, but a couple being friends together. And it actually starts from courtship, because you can't just start it in marriage if you have not really started when you are courting. But at the same time, friendship is between two people. If they really want to have a good friend, a good friend together, if they want to be a good friend to one another. It means that they actually have to be two, not three. Inviting a third party. I might say, okay, my husband is my friend, but I have another friend somewhere that I also go to.
So I can't have a bestie. A bestie after my marriage.
Well, it should be a second best. I think your bestie should be your husband or your wife. You know, it's actually very good to start when you are in courtship. You go into marriage. You be my friend. I be your friend. And being friend means that I have to take so many things from you. I have to tolerate so many things from you as a friend. If I call you my friend, you can gist with me. We can talk together. You know, relate together as friends.
And laugh together.
And also laugh
together. Which is
together.
something that can be very scarce in marriages.
Well, sometimes, really.
Everybody is serious and busy.
We are so
trying
busy.
to meet and meet.
Yes. Laughing together, it's another thing we should look out in marriage, being friends. You know, for you to laugh together, that means you have been on a platform that anything goes. Even if it's hurts you so much, you can just laugh over it. Maybe you say, oh, my hobby or my babe, as we call ourselves, oh, that was too much a bit, you know. There's a way you can say it. And the other friend will say, wow, I didn't mean it. Oh, after a while, you just laugh over it. And you continue. It's really, really good when you are your husband's friend and when you are your wife's friend. It makes you to be so much close. Yeah, when Jesus Christ was saying, he said, you are now my friend. Of course, if you are my friend, you will know what I do. Even in my corner room, a friend, you can show your friend anything. But for a servant, as Jesus Christ said, you are no more a servant. You are my friend. So I can call you to the corner of my room and show you some things and tell you something, and also share so many things that you know, that are so sensitive, and we share it, we talk about it, and we move on in life. So I believe
that's interesting. But you know, the dynamics of being friends sometimes, particularly in one of the episodes that we treated in the past where we addressed conflict management. Sometimes, you know how conflicts can break friendship, and then the husband goes out to talk to a colleague in the office, and the wife goes out to talk to someone else. And then from that point, does conflict help friendship?
Of course, no conflict does. We put it this way, that friendship can help conflicts, because it's easy to forgive your friend. If I'm your friend, it's easy for me to forgive you. Okay. But if I'm not close to you, I can read meanings to so many things. But if I'm your friend, it resolve the friendship. Resolve the conflict right on time. And the other time we also talk about forgiveness. If I am your friend, you find it easy
I can
to forgive me easily.
That's
so
true.
while a husband is going out, oh, we had an issue, maybe an argument in the morning, oh, this one, that one, okay, I said, okay, I'm going. But what you should do, we also need to be sensitive. You know, that comment you made the other spouse, angry, and you just
held it in.
Yes, as if nothing
happened,
and you allowed him to go like that. That means you are not a good friend. So many things to learn about friendship. If you are able to get that right, then you'll be able to work at this while we are in marriage. You know, it really
and I remember during the COVID, particularly during the COVID in 2020.
Wow, all
you
of
know
us.
how everybody was locked into the house. And then COVID exposed how couples were not friends of each other, how they couldn't tolerate each other.
They could not.
I mean, staying in the same space because for 24 hours and not going out of each other's face created more tension in the home, and there were a lot of breakups and fighting. And so apparently, it's possible to disguise, to not have friendship in the home and be disguising it with work and so many things. You know, you are busy with the children, you are out, up and about, doing so many things. It's a very fundamental part of the home.
Yes, it is important.
People need to pay attention to.
COVID was an eye-opener for everyone, because sometimes you say, oh, I'm busy, that's why I could not really stay at home.
Yes.
But, you know, that period was really a wonderful time. You have to stay indoor. Yeah. That is when you really know, okay, I'm not actually your friend, or I've not been a good friend. Sometimes you might not do it deliberately. It might just be like, oh, I've been busy, I didn't have time for you. But you have to have time for your friend.
And you have to be comfortable with the
your
person.
Friend.
You must be free and comfortable looking at the person, talking to the person.
Yeah.
When the person is in his worst form, you still feel comfortable.
Yeah, bringing it down to family, because it really helps. You know, managing the family. You are my friend, I am your friend. We find it easy to communicate together. We find it easy to share so many things, and we enjoy, our partnership together. You know, it's a form of partnership. If we are in a business, you have a partner, and you must work, you know, concerning that goal. You have a focus. You want to make a profit.
Yes.
Making that profit, that means you must work hand in hand for you to achieve your aim or your focus or whatever you aim at. So when you are your husband's friend or your wife's best friend, okay, you are trying to get me there, it must be a best friend, not just any friend.
Not just any
but
friend.
we can be best of friends when we allow things to work, you know, the way it should. And looking at, let me come back to COVID. During COVID, you know, we were forced to come together and to know more of ourselves. You know, sometimes you look at what is going on around, especially in Nigeria. Everybody goes up and down. You come back in the evening, you're already, you know, very tired. But while we were there together, you get to know more and more about this person. You get to know, oh, what needed to be done somehow. That time, of course, the husband will wash plates. The wife will
you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
You can't watch your wife do all the chores in the house every day.
In the house, and you are there.
And I think one other thing, Lizzie, is I think now that COVID has opened our eyes to that need, to help friendship, it will be good to have getaways, particularly once in a while when you have children. It'll be good maybe the couples find time to be alone by themselves. It can rekindle and help friendship, because the children is or can be, I mean, you cannot say that they are distractions,
they are part
but
of the family.
Sometimes the fact that you are up and about attending to them, you don't have those moments alone a day or two. You just create those times away.
Really, you have to find a time, you know, to go out. It really works. And I think most men are so stingy. Sorry, DJ. They are so stingy because they know that if you take a woman out, what do? I will pick this.
Yes.
I'll pick that. What an opportunity for me to pick one or two
everything
things. What
you
I
want
cannot
to
use
pick.
my money to buy. I want my husband to buy it for me. So they get scared, and what do? they try to avoid
So
it.
maybe women should stop picking too much.
We have to, because you know you have to take care of us.
Mm.
You know, for sometimes when my husband is talking, he will say, mo ti dọ̀bálẹ̀. I was that day I was on the street. You know, in those days we used to do it on the street.
Oh yeah, that's
Nothing
true.
like
Not
you
in
go
the
to
halls
in the
now.
hall. So you know, he will refer back to it that, oh no. That means, you know,
I've paid my dues.
yes, I have paid my dues, but that's prostrating on the street is not only the dues. You have to do it and continue. You know, continuation is very, very important.
Very important.
Be my friend today. Tomorrow, I'm no more your friend. You know?
Permit me to also drill a little bit closer to the women. I think, to be very fair, the women would be best suited to be recipients of friendship, because the burden of keeping the home, monitoring and nurturing the children, also taking care or nurturing your husband, supporting your husband, sometimes it can take the woman's time and mind, such that she's lost in the chores. She's always busy. I think it would be good that men in the home intentionally, like you said, take their wife out. You know, make them happy, take them to the spa, just allow them relax. It has a way of, a therapeutic way of allowing the woman ease out and build bond more.
If you are not actually your wife's friend, you can't take her out. You cannot take your wife out if you are not her friend.
True.
Yeah, because sometimes we see that a husband will say, move on, I'm coming, I will meet you there. If you are going out with your friend, you should be very proud to hold your friend, you know, hand in hand. And I think sometimes tradition stops us from doing some things.
Holding hands.
Yes, you hold hands, and you know, you continue with the friendship. We'd like to have a break now, right now. And when we come back, we'll dwell more on friendship.
Welcome back to this episode where we are looking at Be My Friend in the marriage. How important is friendship in the marriage? We've talked about it from different perspectives. But this time around, as we look at it, Lizzie, perhaps we should look at some boundaries that couples need to also set up against external friends who want to interfere. You know, you mentioned earlier that friendship in the marriage is good when it's just two. Yes. It shouldn't be three. Yeah. But there are some people who want to walk their way intentionally. So how do you set those boundaries to say, no, I can't have this conversation with you. I can't go that far with you. I can't discuss this much with you.
It's a kind of determination. You know that me and you, we are friends. And it has to do on both sides. I will do my part, you will do my part. It might be the mother of the man, especially the mother of the man, want to continue to be the son's friend. You know, they have been friends for so long a time.
Very true.
And you came in as a wife, and you want to take the friendship away. That's a challenge.
Perhaps I should speak for the men.
Okay.
The mother-in-law and their daughters, they can maintain friendship forever. Sometimes you see the wife and the mother of the wife, they are always having those conversations in and out. Sometimes men will feel jealous that what are you people saying now? You are always talking with mommy every day.
Okay, that's why the lady has to work on her own part. It has to do with the lady making sure that the mother does not get too much close, that it will be so obvious to the husband that it's looking as if mommy is kind to be a third party to our friendship. So you have to be sensitive. You are sensitive to the fact that you are doing it so obvious that the husband is getting jealous, or what do I call it? Do I use envy? He feels left out. You are gisting with your mother, and your husband comes in. You know, say, mommy, sorry. You quickly, you know, attend to your husband. You are still gisting. Say, honey, welcome. And you are seated there gisting with your mommy. You know, I think it will make the husband feel somehow. It is natural. Really, it is natural that what is going on? Are they gisting about me? Or, you know, so at that point in time, You let him know that you are still my friend. So doing that, it makes him to be more comfortable. Okay, even if my mother-in-law is around, I know that my wife is
So
still
how do
my
we set
friend.
those boundaries? How do I tell my mom, I think I can't tell you this much,
You
or
can,
you shouldn't come
it's
too
wisdom.
close?
Is wisdom. Usually, I think women, we don't want to start competing, no. But what we need to do is that women tries to cover a bit. But a woman is always like, okay, woman to woman. A man can overlook. Even when they are so much close, a man can overlook. But a woman will not overlook. She will tell the husband that mommy is getting too close to you.
Yes, yes.
So let
While
everyone.
the man will be quiet and just
Exactly.
internalizing it.
Exactly. But then
They need to speak up.
let everyone work out, their own parts. I can't come to you. I'll come to your mommy and tell your mother, Mama, you are too close to my husband. It is you that should, take up that responsibility and find a way to, let your mother know that, okay, mommy, I've heard. Okay, mommy, my working. Oh, I'm coming. Next week I will come.
I will even come with my
I
wife.
will even come with my wife. We are coming together. Why you are saying that? You want to make sure that your wife is hearing it. So that I will say, hey,
You are going there again.
yeah,
You are always going there.
Say, so sometimes we need to find a way to let our mothers
So wisdom is
know that,
important.
yes, we apply wisdom so that it will really, 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 make the marriage work. Friendship, Deji, looking at friendship, we need to be careful. Why we are being careful is that it doesn't have a boundary, just like you said that we should keep a boundary. But to ourselves, no boundary.
True.
We should take note of that me and you,
there are no
boundaries to
Everything
friendship.
goes.
Friendship.
Very
Looking at speaking the truth, can you tell your wife all truth as a friend?
Okay, so I personally think that it's important that both parties are naked to each other.
Okay.
The timing might be different.
All right.
Because it is important now, and I'm speaking from very practical experience. I feel that timing of when I communicate the information is important. Okay. I can't come into the house when my wife is already angry and pressured and stressed, and then I have financial challenges. And that's when I decide to bring out that truth. I mean, she doesn't have the elasticity to take that pressure now. So she's just going to start worrying. She can't take the worry of the children, her own work or business. Then you now came, you said, oh, my own business is even bad and I need help and all of that. So I think it's true. Communicating, everything is important. However, timing, knowing the atmosphere when I should throw in my truth is very important, so that I don't catch my wife unawares and I don't ruffle her feathers or help her to receive those communications.
Sometimes we dress somehow. My husband will tell you, no worry, wetin you wear now. How do we take that as friends? Or your wife is saying, why are you dressing like a bushman? Do you get offended?
And women,
sometimes we just flare up, say, what's the meaning of that? Now your baba come from village. is the one that is not dressing well. I'm a corporate man. I understand how to dress, and I'm not that. I don't think in friendship we should take that up. Sometimes it depends on how you even put it.
Exactly.
Sometimes it depends on how you put it. I make my hair and I'm coming with a smile that my husband will say is beautiful. He say, that local stylist you went to again. It dampens your spirits. And for friends, I think you need to say good things to one another. Even if you have to say the truth, sometimes you must face it. Tell the truth and find a better way
of communicating
with one another.
Very true.
Yeah, it's very, very important in friendship.
One should not be deceptive in their communication.
Really?
I mean, I see that you are not dressing too well.
Yeah.
Rather than telling you, I'm also just embellishing it to say, oh, no, it's good, it's good, it's good.
No.
That's not good. It doesn't help friendship.
Yeah, it doesn't. It comes back to you.
Yes.
If you do not correct your neighbors, it affects you one way or the other.
Yeah,
so
correct.
Friendship is so wonderful.
And you remember, Lizzie, when we were also talking about parenting lifestyle, one of the things our guest at the time highlighted is that parents should model to their children. They should model what value they have.
Right.
And I think if the friendship is seen in the home, children can also pick it among themselves. They'll follow suit to be open, to be happy, to feel comfortable with their siblings or with their own spouse when they eventually get married.
That's also true. And sometimes we also need to rescue ourselves. When we are in their need. You don't leave your husband when he's in trouble. You don't leave your wife when she's challenged. We need to really support ourselves.
Stand by each other.
It's a kind of, let me use rescue. You can rescue one another when you are in the troubled water. Just like Peter was sinking. Jesus Christ just helped him out. So it's very important we rescue ourselves as friends. And we don't look at it. He's the one that caused it now. I have warned him. I have told him several times. And at the end of the day, he didn't bring up a good result. And he said, okay, let him carry his own body. At the end of the day, all of you will carry it together. Because if you still want to go ahead in your marriage, then what do? You be your husband's friend. And also you be your wife's friend.
Very true.
Okay.
Very true. I think as we begin to round off, some of the key highlights for me is the fact that both parties should be comfortable with each other, should be open with each other, should communicate well, should stand by each other, should be truthful to each other. Those values, I believe, help genuine friendship. And then to spend time with each other. Find wisdom to create the boundaries for external parties who want to interfere in the friendship that they see. Oftentimes, it could even be colleagues. It could be colleagues at work or neighbors in the compound who see you and they feel, I like what I see. I like to be your friend. And they want to come in. And they begin to manipulate their way into that union. Boundaries are important for third parties, and then no boundaries for the couples. It's been an amazing conversation. I think for myself, one takeaway that I would take, and I believe you, the viewer, should also follow suit if you're not doing, is that we need to lock ourselves down more, like COVID helped us. Lock yourself away with your wife. And don't have a choice. Just go away on vacation. You can take the kids along if you have any, but sometimes it might just be good to go alone with your partner. And it allows both of you to be relaxed and to bond better.
Thank you for watching, viewers. And I hope you will be my friend. Next episode, you will be my friend. Please be your husband's friend. And you husband, be your wife's friend. My name is Elizabeth, and this program is brought to you by Bethel Dwellers. Deji.
Hi, viewers. Again, I'd like to wish you an amazing time after this episode. However, don't forget to engage with us on all of our social media platforms at Bethel Dwellers. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram at Bethel Dwellers. My name remains Deji Adeyemi, PDA for short. Family Matters. Raising godly home with great virtues. Bye-bye.